Today's video is answering a question I got the other day, but it actually has a big lesson for how to make your workouts shorter and much more effective, aka the Micro Monday type of approach to working out. And that question was asked the other day, how come calisthenics practitioners oftentimes don't seem to have much development in the gluteus maximus, the booty, the posterior, however you want to phrase this. Observing things on YouTube, it's like always the small glutes. What can we do about it, and why is that the case? Well, naturally, your gluteal complex, especially the maximus, is involved a lot in hip extension. So we should be working our glutes sufficiently with any sort of hip extending exercise. We've got, of course, bridging or hip bridging variants, not to mention lots of squatting exercises, lunges, lots of different variants of these various things. But the bottom line is, anything that's got that hip extension element should be a sufficient gluteal training exercise. See, the lazy approach, a lot of times when people come to me and they're like, I can't build my arms, my lats aren't building the way I want, my quads, glutes, or whatever, is to say, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to give you a full program focusing on these things. We're gonna have lots of exercises that are on hip extension or bicep curls or whatever, lots of exercise, even maybe a separate workout. And that's not a bad approach. It can work to some degree, but it's missing the bigger picture, which is the fact that if you're having trouble engaging that muscle to begin with, almost nothing you do is going to be effective. However, on the other side of the coin, if you have that good neuromuscular proficiency, aka that mind-muscle connection, almost anything you're already doing should be more than sufficient. So the solution I recommend is practicing using those muscles, probably through isometric training, which I'm a big fan of. I've got my World Fit ISO loop, but you can just do this against a wall if you like, or use a yoga strap. Hold on to something if you prefer, and you're just gonna kick back like so. I'm just driving my heel backwards, but the trick is I'm using my glutes and hamstrings, aka my hip extensors, and really squeezing. I'm not feeling this at all in my lower back. Oftentimes we feel it in the lower back as a compensation method. So I'm practicing using my muscles. I'm trying to get good at using those glutes, because you can only strengthen or build a muscle to the degree you can engage it. So I'm practicing how well I can do it. Now, if I do this a few times just to wake it up, now when I go into my squats, my lunges, my hip extensions, I'm gonna get much more of a muscle building stimulus from those exercises because my glutes are woken up. And you can do this a number of ways. You can do this as a warm-up, like in grind style calisthenics. But if you're really struggling with it, I recommend doing it superset. So you would do this for like 5-10 seconds, then go into hip bridges, then do it again, then into hip bridges, then do it again and into hip bridges. So you're constantly reinforcing how to use those glutes and then making it more of a focal point during the exercise. So when it comes to building up those nagging muscle groups, be it your glutes, your biceps, or neck muscles, whatever it is, the trick isn't to add more to your workouts and do different exercise and stuff. It's to learn how to use the muscle more in what you're already doing, because it should be sufficient with your basic fundamental movement patterns, push, pull, squat, to build and strengthen those lagging muscle groups. I've got a ton of isometric exercises that can help with any muscle group, but if you have any lagging muscle groups I can help you with specifically, leave it down below in the comments section. Check out the playlist of isometrics to give you some ideas there as well. And thank you very much for watching. Be fit and live free.